So what we are talking about working on here today with the concept of flipping the switch and using the concept of your shifting through parallel realities to get a better bead on the idea, a more precise understanding of the idea of manifesting the parallel reality you prefer, is to focus on the idea of creating a greater degree of difference than you normally do, so that you will be able to feel the shift, to see the shift, to perceive the shift more viscerally, more concretely. And the idea, thus then, is to allow yourself the opportunity to let go of the definitions that you have been brought up to believe are necessary for the labeling and defining and designing of the parallel realities that you do already automatically experience, so that you can design, in a sense, the parallel reality that is more in alignment with the parallel realities or sequence of parallel realities that you prefer, that are more representative of your true nature, your true core frequency, your true natural self, your true vibration. Here's what you can begin to do. Just have an overall image, an overall representation of your life as it is. In whatever way that comes to you, just paint a picture, like you're looking at a movie screen if you wish, and just see up on that screen, see yourself, see an image of you, going about the things that you are already doing in life. Nothing different than what you're already doing. It can be anything on a day-to-day basis, this and that, big or small, doesn't matter. Just see yourself as you are. Now, when you are ready, blank the screen, wipe the screen. Now, replace it with an image of yourself going about your day-to-day business in what you consider to be, for now, your preferred, desired, ideal reality, your ideal life. Fill that movie screen with your image and look at all the things, create all the things in it that are representative of what the things are you would be going about doing in your ideal life, your ideal reality. Some of them may be the same. Some of them may be different. Whatever it is, just take a look at it. Now, in your mind's eye, put those two screens side by side or one above the other. Look at one screen that represents your life as it is. Look at the other image on the other screen that represents your life as you would prefer it to be. Notice the differences. Notice the differences. Notice the similarities, but notice the differences. Whatever differences you noticed, from small to large, are the things that represent vibrationally, symbolically, representationally, that ideal life. Whatever symbol you conjured up represents vibrationally that preferred parallel reality, because that is a real, already existing parallel reality. And that version of you in that reality already exists as a real person in that universe, in that reality, which is a completely different reality than the screen that represents your life as it is right now. Again, allow yourself to remember the differences, but understand that these two realities coexist right now, simultaneously, interpenetrated, overlapping, only separated by the slightest difference in vibrational energy. Now, it may be a slight difference, but if the picture looks very different, then it is a difference that is enough of a difference in vibration that you are noticing the difference. And that's the key. Different enough that you notice the difference. Different enough so that it's not in your mind, as you are used to experiencing, a smooth continuity from one second to the next, but would be representative of some time passing in between. In other words, some of you might see the image of the life as it is now, see the image of the life that you prefer, and you might automatically find yourself assuming that it would require some span of time in order for one to change to the other. The thing to understand is that it actually, in a sense, requires less time than you think, and in fact actually uses no time at all. When you decide, when you choose to actually be that person in that reality, it will happen instantaneously as a shift from whatever parallel reality you were experiencing a moment before that. But you can create the illusion of process, the illusion of time lag, the illusion of linear continuity to make it seem as if it's taking time to become or experience that reality. But that reality exists right now. So manifestation in this context is simply the degree to which you are willing to allow the definition, no matter how different it looks, to actually be real right now, to know that it exists right now, and most importantly, in this particular permission slip, to be willing to actually be that person in that representation right now. When you go back now and look at the two images you created, and if you see differences in them, one of the differences you will probably see is a difference in how you behave in the two realities. Many people on your planet, when they imagine themselves going through their day-to-day existence as it is now, and then imagine themselves going through their day-to-day existence in the reality they prefer, will suddenly realize there is a great degree of difference in your behavior, in your body language, in what you're wearing, in your attitude, in your energy. Look at the difference in you in those two images. It is important to understand the following. This principle is paramount here. You cannot experience what you are not already the vibration of. So the idea is, if you see that version of you in that preferred ideal reality doing certain things, the you are now is not capable of experiencing those things unless you actually start being the person in that image. If you don't behave like that person, dress like that person, talk like that person, walk like that person, think like that person, feel like that person, you will not experience the things that person is experiencing, because that is not just a different version of you. It is a different person, literally, entirely. And you, the greater you, as a consciousness, can shift between the person you're experiencing yourself to be now and the person that is represented in that ideal scenario. That you, the bigger you, the consciousness that you are, will be the same, but the person, the physical construct, the temporary personality that you consider yourself to be as a physical being will literally not be the same person, because you are not the same person from moment to moment to moment to moment. As we already said, billions and billions of times a second, you're actually becoming literally, quite literally, not metaphorically, quite literally, a new person billions of times a second. The idea again here is to pay attention consciously to the fact that you can design the person, design the reality to be different enough so that you can actually tell the difference, that it is really a different reality, a different you, a different universe. And that's what this exercise is designed to do, is look at the differences so that you can know that when you shift, you're shifting totally, utterly, totally, and instantaneously. There is no real time lag at all between becoming one reality and another, between experiencing yourself as one person and another. None whatsoever. but you can create this continuity, this illusion that there is, or you can start to let that go. Now, it will not let go entirely, of course, as long as you still have a reason to experience the physical reality idea at all. We are not talking about eliminating it completely, although from time to time, as you do these kinds of exercises, as you gain this kind of insight and this kind of knowledge, you may find space and time becoming a little more slippery. You may find things happening very rapidly, maybe sometimes even instantaneously here and there. This will be somewhat sporadic, but it can accelerate. Nevertheless, you will still retain some sense of space-time in order to have a context in which to experience the idea you call physical reality, but you can allow your experience of it to become something far more different than what you're experiencing now, accelerate it far more rapidly than what you're experiencing now. Again, not literally accelerating it. When I say accelerate it, I mean experience as if you were accelerating, because you're already shifting as fast as you can. You're already shifting totally. So you can't shift more than you do. You can't shift faster than you do. What you can change is your perception, your experience of the idea, so that you can become aware of the fact that you are shifting totally, shifting instantaneously. That's the whole idea to this exercise, to become aware of the fact that you're already shifting totally, already shifting instantaneously, and you can't go any faster. The way, as we said, to recognize that is to create a parallel reality that is different enough that you notice that you're shifting immediately and totally. So the idea is, as you see that image and you see that version of you there, start from this moment forward, from this day forward. Start being, start behaving, start mimicking that version of you. Because that's what your imagination, that's what your visualization is for, is to create the state. Because if you really, really are having an image in your mind that's representative of your ideal reality, not only will the version of you in that picture, look excited, you'll start to feel excited about that reality. You'll feel that energy now. It will start to leak into you from that image. That's what it's for. That's its job, to put you in the proper state that is representative of the ideal reality, no matter how that reality actually will appear physically.
If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like it and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring and enlightening content.
This is how it works. Please, 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 again, understand. We are not giving you a philosophy. We are not giving you an opinion. We are describing an observation of how reality is structured, how it works. This is literally an instruction manual. By following the instructions, you allow the machine to work to your advantage. If you throw the instruction manual away, the machine may work, but you might also injure yourself. So the idea is just follow the instructions. Act on your highest passion every moment that you can. Take it as far as you can until you can take it no further. Do it with absolutely no insistence or assumption as to the outcome. Stay in a positive state no matter what happens, no matter what manifests, because the end cap to that instruction manual is it doesn't matter what happens. It only matters what you do with what happens. That's what makes the difference in your life, because everything is neutral and can serve double duty. So even though something may have originated negatively, even though someone else's experience or opinion of it may be negative, if you stay in a neutral state and in a positive state by knowing that you must be experiencing this for a positive reason, no matter how it looks, you will also and always derive a positive and beneficial effect from it, no matter what anyone else is getting out of it. That's up to you. That's your call. You have that choice. You have that freedom. You have that power to determine what this means for you in your life. Even something that you might neutrally not prefer must still be there for a reason if it manifested in your life. If you stay in a positive understanding of that, then you will be able to use what you don't prefer in a way that you do prefer. It will still give you some benefit. If nothing else, sometimes things manifesting that you don't prefer more clearly delineate the difference between what you don't prefer and what you do prefer, and that's a positive effect. So always use it to your advantage. It's always your choice to do so. You always have the ability to make that choice. And then you will experience the idea of abundance in all its forms. You will go with the flow of your own current in creation, and you will experience the effortlessness and the joy that life has to offer. When you have belief systems that create resistance to the idea of opening up to the other forms, you slow everything down by insisting that it can only happen this way, and I can only do this if this happens in this way. Then you're actually slowing down the process by which you might actually have been capable of doing whatever that is much more quickly and much more easily. Is this making some sense? So allow yourself, as you go through life and as you act on your passion to the best you can, with no insistence or assumption on the outcome, please remember that third part of the formula, which many of you sometimes conveniently forget. I'm acting on my passion, I'm acting on my passion, I'm acting on my passion. And this had better happen, and this had better happen, and this had better happen, or something's wrong. That's not the formula. When we say act on your passion to the best you can, taking it as far as you can until you can take it no further, the implication in that statement is very clear. There will be moments when you will not be able to take it further in that way. That's not a block. It is an arrow pointing in an unexpected direction that is actually more representative of your true path. Let yourself go with the flow. Remember, sometimes many of you think that the path of least resistance is straight and true and short. Not always. In fact, not often. The idea is that sometimes the path of least resistance may be a very winding path, because it may need to get some experience under your belt. It may need to allow you to have a meeting over here with someone you hadn't met before. It may direct you over here to a bit of information that you require, so that you will have a deeper appreciation when you wind up wherever it is you are winding up by having gathered the things you needed on the way. That path is your path of abundance. The path of least resistance is the path of greatest abundance, greatest synchronicity, greatest allowance, greatest giving, greatest imagination, all of it. The idea being that even though some paths may look very short and very straight, if it's not your path of least resistance, it will actually take longer to travel that path than one that seems longer and winding, because the path of least resistance will offer no resistance. You will be able to move on that path much more quickly than a shorter path that has nothing to do with you, because that shorter path will be full of things that you will experience as resistance to slow you down, to indicate to you it's not your path. So even a longer path may get you where you're going much faster if it is your true path. And this also allows abundance to work more effectively for you in all of its forms, because then you will be in alignment with who you are. When we talk about the idea of being on your path, we remind you that this is just a euphemism. In other words, you're not on a path. You are a path. You are a unique expression of all that is. You are the experience itself that you are having. The idea is that all of your physical reality isn't outside you, it's within you. You are having that experience, you're projecting it within yourself, you're creating that experience within your consciousness. It is who and what you are as a unique representation and a unique reflection of creation, of existence, of all that is. So when you allow all forms of abundance to support you, then you allow yourself to truly take advantage of that particular tool in the kit of passion, because it contains very specific tools that will propel you through life in the most advantageous and joyful way. When you follow the formula of acting on your passion to the best you can, taking it as far as you can until you can take it no further, and you do this with absolutely no insistence or assumption as to where you're supposed to wind up, as we have told you before, you open up that kit that contains the driving engine of your life. It moves you through life very quickly because you are so excited to do what it is that excites you. You find the energy, it comes to you. It becomes the organizing principle of synchronicity. That means it brings you the opportunities that contain the highest excitement in the order in which you need to act on them. And whatever it is you didn't have time to do at the end of the day when you're excited about going to sleep, you didn't need to do that day. It is that organizational. It also is, as we have said, the path of least resistance that allows you to flow through life very rapidly, very effortlessly. It is the path that connects you to all expressions of your excitement in life, because there may be many. But it all interconnects. And if you follow that thread of excitement, you will see how they all interrelate and interconnect to get you where you need to go. Notice I keep saying where you need to go, not necessarily where you want to go, because that can sometimes be misleading. There may be times when what you want and what you need may be synonymous, but very often when you hold on to negative and fear-based belief systems, and sometimes you make choices out of desperation or fear, even unconsciously, what you want or think you need by wanting it is not necessarily what you actually need to be fulfilled. But to be fulfilled, you will be given everything you need, because that's another tool in the kit, is it leaves nothing relevant for you out. It is a complete kit. It contains everything you need. It is designed vibrationally for you. It's your path. You are the path. It's your frequency. That's what passion is. It's your frequency being experienced in bodily form as a sensation. And it is the translation of your higher mind's language to you. The higher mind speaks in energy. The translation, the way you experience the higher mind's language is through the sensations called passion, love, excitement, creativity. That's how it translates in your body. When you respond by actually taking an action on your passion, you are responding in the language of physical reality, which is physical action. Because you can sit and think about it all day long. You can ponder it, you can wonder about it, you can give it lip service, but it will never actually be a response to your higher mind if it doesn't actually come through the physical actions you take. So the idea is that when you do take the physical action, you are demonstrating to your higher mind that you recognize that the passion is who you are, you're willing to act on it, you are committing to act on it. That's a response the higher mind understands from the language of physical reality, and therefore it will give you more to be excited about, and more to be excited about, and more to be excited about, because you're willing to act on the excitement, and act on the excitement, and act on the excitement. If you're not acting on it, why should the higher mind send you more passion, more excitement? You're not doing anything with what you've already been given. You have to get the cycle going. You have to get it running and keep it running by constantly acting on that passion, and therefore you're having that conversation, you're having that dialogue with your higher mind, and you're acting as a whole person, half in spirit, half in physical experience, the whole person working together in concert, in a partnership. So the idea then is that the kit of excitement, the kit of passion also contains the reflective mirror that reveals to you anything that might be out of alignment in your belief system with your passion, so that you can identify it, see why it's there, realize it has nothing to do with you, realize it's out of phase with your vibration, and let it go and add that energy back into your momentum, into your excitement. But the idea of discovering something that doesn't excite you, that's part of your excitement. It's not a block in your excitement. It is part of your passion to find out what beliefs are not part of your passion. Because then you are clarifying, accelerating yourself in that way by stripping away all the things that don't belong to you. Please remember, your own baggage weighs nothing. If you feel weighed down, you're carrying someone else's bags, someone else's beliefs. Your parents, your friends, your society, your schooling, wherever they came from, if you feel weighed down, that should be your first clue that you're carrying around baggage that doesn't belong to you. Drop it, and you will feel much lighter and be far more vibrationally receptive to all the different forms of abundance and support that are capable of coming to you in your life as the path that you chose to be. Does this make sense?
Say good day to you this day of your time. How are you all? Perfect. How are all of you? Perfect. And the rest of you? Perfect. Thank you. Allow us to once again thank each and every one of you for establishing the link in this way at this time between our respective civilizations. Each and every time our civilization is given an opportunity to communicate with yours in this way, we receive the gift of being allowed to see, through you, that many more ways that creation has of expressing itself, and thus it expands our understanding of the infinite. So we thank you for that gift. We have been speaking to you of late about the concept of manifestation in a little bit more precise and condensed manner, and we would like to continue to do so this day of your time. There are many different aspects to the idea of how it is your consciousness manifests the day-to-day reality that you experience. But we would like to sum it up in a very concise three-part harmony. Intention, action, without expectation, is the major key by which you create your reality. Intention. Your beliefs, your emotions, your visions, your thoughts, what you intend, what you desire, what you wish, what you prefer your reality to be. This is all wrapped up in the concept of intention, that focus of consciousness that allows you to know, to choose what it is you prefer your life to be, how it is you prefer to express it, what you intend to do. But intention is not enough for manifestation. for bringing that wish, that vision into your physical reality. It must go hand in hand with action, physical action, for you are physical beings. And in order to manifest your intention, you must ground it in physical reality, and this is done through physical action. When you have an intention, you must act on the opportunities that come to you, that are representative of the joy of your vision, of your dream, of your wish. You must act out the scenario of the vision you see in your mind as best as you can, as closely as you can, to the vision that you see, that you say is representative of your dream, of your wish, of your desire. You must act like the person you see in that vision already in order to become the vibration of the reality. Because if you don't become the vibration of the reality, the frequency of the reality, the energy of the reality, you cannot attract the reality. You have to be the vibration first before you can attract it magnetically to you. Now, while you're doing all of this intending and focusing and acting, you also have to add a third ingredient, which is very paradoxical because it would seem as if to be, at first, a cancellation of the first two principles of intention and action, but it isn't. It is actually the secret ingredient that allows it to work, not makes it work, allows it to work. For everything works automatically when you allow it to. This is how you get out of your way, so to speak, to cease imposing certain parameters, certain beliefs, certain definitions that are actually what are standing in the way, most often, from you allowing yourself to attract the reality that you prefer. This third ingredient, after intention, after action, is total lack of expectation that it must come out in the way you saw it. You must absolutely 100% let go of any need, of any expectation that it must manifest that way. The reason for this is, primarily, that when you place an expectation, usually, the way you have been taught to in your society, upon a wish that you have, upon a desire that you have, you are actually taking unconscious definitions you're not aware of, and you're limiting how it is that that reality could actually manifest. You think that by expecting, by insisting that it come out that way, that you are helping it to manifest, but in fact you're actually helping it to manifest on a far lower level than it actually might were you to relax your expectation. Because your mind is not really capable of imagining all the ways that it could come to you. And the idea of having an intentional focus and taking action is simply to act as a magnetic seed, a core, to attract the manifestation of the reality. But the manifestation could be many times greater than you are capable of envisioning. So by placing a certain expectation that it must come out exactly as I saw it or it won't be right, is actually limiting the way it could come out even better than you imagined. You must let it go, because the universe already works. It's a mechanism that knows how to manifest automatically. All you have to do is plant the seed. That magnetic seed is the intention and the action, then let it go. And just keep acting on the things that excite you, even if they do not immediately appear to be connected to the original vision. Excitement is what lets you know it is connected, and you will automatically be drawn into the circumstances, right place, right time, right people, to attract the reality in unexpected ways. Make a friend of the unexpected. Don't try to straitjacket it. It won't work. Let it be what it is, for it is multidimensional. And if you attempt to confine the manifestation of your reality down into one particular definition that you have been taught to believe it must be, you are shutting the doors on all the ways abundance could come to you, because abundance is many things. So intend, have the vision, act, be that person in that vision, then let it go. No expectation that it has to be that idea at all, because you never know. You might actually be capable of receiving a reality that is more reflective of the total you, rather than the little slice of you that your personality has been trained to be. Trust yourself. Trust your total self. It knows what it's doing. When you do not place the burden of the manifestation of your physical reality on the shoulders of only the physical personality, you will see that the whole spirit that you are, the whole being that you are, the whole consciousness that you are, knows exactly what it's doing, always has and always will. Now, we thank you for allowing us to remind you of this idea if we are not telling you anything new. These are things you already know in your spirit, but perhaps have not allowed your personality to remember. We thank you again for the opportunity to remind you of who you already are. In return, once again, for the gift you are giving to us of allowing us to experience all of the myriad facets of your civilization in this contact, I ask you now, in what way may I, at this time, be of service?
Good morning, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Speaking of time,
Yes.
my question is about an acknowledgement if, in a sense, there is no time and everything that is happening in this moment,
Yes.
as it were.
Now is all there is.
Yes. So an acknowledgement of that,
Yes.
then it follows that there is, in a sense, no such thing as a new idea. For all ideas, all inventions, all conceptions already exist.
Fundamentally, in terms of the structure, correct. But there is always a new experience of the idea. You see, the structure of existence never changes. It's your perspective and experience of the structure that does. That's how creation expands, because you're always having a unique perspective of the structure that never changes. So the idea of new ideas, it's both. You're correct that everything already exists, but it also expands by creating new experiences of that which already exists. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Does that help?
It does. And following from that,
Yes.
if I or any individual are seeking an answer to a problem or a new way to solve or a new way to be creative,
Yes.
it is not so much a matter that I am creating that new idea, but rather I am somehow attuning to a resonant frequency that is matched with the resonance of that idea.
Yes, and by doing that, you are creating a unique experience of doing that. Not so much that you're creating a new idea, but you're creating a new experience of matching that idea.
So, as an incarnate being,
Yes.
my process was not so much that I've had an idea rather than I have become resonant to the frequencies that allow that idea to come to me. Is that more?
Exactly.
Okay.
You have to be on the vibratory level first in order to realize or experience any particular notion or knowledge. And it's the same with the concept of manifestation physically. You have to be on that frequency level in order to experience a manifestation in your physicalized projection.
And indeed, then, if we extend that in my question to not ideas, which are the rational thought forms, but what we experience as emotions.
Yes.
I assume that the same then must apply to that.
Exactly. It's all based on the same resonance identification concept. And that's why we say what you experience has to be based on a definition that you have bought into as being true, because each definition has a different frequency, a different signature vibration that gives the result that you experience as an emotion.
Okay.
That's why you can always experience an emotion and know you can trace it back to what kind of a definition you would have to have in order for that emotion to have resulted from it, because you can only have the emotion that results from the frequency of the definition.
Indeed. So if I'm experiencing what I might experience as a negative emotion, anger, depression,
Yes.
what have you,
Yes.
what's opening to me then is the opportunity, and this is what's hard to language, to somehow open to or find a different frequency to resonate at, and it's that
Yes.
search for a different resonance
Yes,
that is challenging.
Yes, and the easiest way to do that is to figure out what the definition is you're already buying into that's already creating the resonance you're experiencing. Because once you define consciously, find that definition, If it is truly out of alignment with you, you will immediately recognize it as nonsensical and illogical. And as soon as you do, it's gone. That's the end of the process of letting it go. If you keep behaving the same way, all that means is you haven't actually found the fundamental definition or the fundamental frequency giving rise to that sensation. Just keep digging. Identifying things that are in your unconscious mind that are belief systems is the key to transforming that energy into something you would prefer, because once you actually bring it into the light, you will see that it makes no sense if it really has nothing to do with you.
Okay.
Make sense?
It does. Last part of this.
Yes.
If I look at this same experience then, with
Yes.
becoming attuned to the resonant frequencies that are for my best and highest,
Yes.
then if I look at a physical ailment such as inability to get sound, nurturing sleep,
Yes.
and if underlying that is a belief that I don't deserve rest, as an example,
One
it's
example,
to understand what might be behind that and
Yes.
allow it to change,
Yes.
force it to change, think about it.
No, not force, not force.
I understand. I'm saying that because I don't get what the next step is.
Again, if you actually discover what the definition is, and you bring it into the light of your consciousness, and you recognize that it makes no sense, it's gone.
Okay.
It's just gone. You will not have a continued experience of that definition
Okay.
if you have truly let it go. But you have to understand that sometimes you might not let it go because there might be another belief, another definition that says you should hold on to it. If that's the case, find out what that definition is, because sometimes definitions and beliefs work in chains. You may have to follow the links back to the fundamental link. But once you actually do release the fundamental link, all the secondary links will collapse along with it. Sometimes negative beliefs will attempt to preserve themselves, because that's what they're designed to do, by fooling you into thinking that you've actually let go of the fundamental belief when all you've done is let go of a secondary one. And then it will hide behind that. So you have to see if, experience if, you keep feeling, doing the same thing. That would be your first clue that the negative belief is hiding behind a cloud of secondary beliefs. And no matter how many of them you let go of, if you don't let go of the fundamental one, that won't change anything for you.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes, it does. Thank you. Blessings, Bashar.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
Blessings to you. This is really a very simple mechanism. There is nothing mysterious about it.
Hello, you guys.
And to you, good day.
I'm very excited. I came a long physical way to see you.
If you say so.
I followed
We
my...
came a long physical way to see all of you.
I wanted to say thank you.
But not
for the
really, because
adventure.
everything is here and now.
Right. Well, thank you, and thank you for that adventure.
Yes.
I've always felt that there was maybe 4 or 5 personalities contributing to the personality who I am or appear to be.
Oh, more than that.
And in a recent channeling, I got that there would, and some people can have maybe more or not, but multiple personalities that are very similar but have slightly different situations.
They can
broadcasting
be.
From,
They can be.
Oh, yes? And broadcasting from the same channel.
In a sense, or something similar that you may not necessarily recognize the difference.
Yes, so is this a thing?
Is that a thing?
I have a friend who was traumatized as a child, and it said that I always thought that there was 3 or 4 personalities contributing to him.
Yes.
But he actually has more like 9 because his little
Yes.
self didn't really want to step
The
fully
idea
into
that
it.
you call on your planet based on what kind of experiences an individual may have may cause a fracturing between the continuity and communication of the different personalities that make up any particular single being. And that's what you typically in your world often refer to as multiple personality disorder or a few other different kinds of names. The idea that we're expressing here in allowing the channel to express some aspect of his own being that connects to us and allows for this communication to occur is simply multiple personality order.
Oh, very good. And so for people who know that they have this going on, they can access those other personalities?
Yes, of course.
Okay, because I think mine were kind of bad. But in that channeling, I also had the information that I was part of an intergalactic introduction. Is that something?
Is that something? Well, in a sense, yes. It's one of the things going on your planet now that you're becoming aware that you're not alone. Therefore, many of you that chose to have this physical experience knew coming in that part of this physical life would contain an ability to open up to the recognition that there are many different beings within the galaxy and other dimensions that are here for you to begin to open up to, communicate with, such as you're doing with us, and that that's part of a process of going from what you may call Homo sapien to Homo galacticus.
I love that. So if I'm a part of the intergalactic introduction, how would myself or we be participating consciously in that?
By following your passion to the best you're able with no insistence on a particular outcome. Because then you raise your frequency. And when you raise your frequency, you make yourself a more receptive antenna to higher dimensional communication, and you will have more inspiration and realization of the communication going on a multitude of different dimensional levels that you can tap into and participate in a variety of ways. That's how. The formula is everything. It is the beginning, the end. It is the basis of what we call the instruction manual. The instruction manual is that 3-part formula and all the tools in the kit, and then just choosing to remain in a positive state no matter what happens, so you can always extract the benefit from it. While from time to time, we may engage in conversations with you that may take you into greater depths of understanding, more precise understanding of all of those elements in that particular instruction manual, but there are no more instructions. That's the complete instruction manual, and it is absolutely no different than if we were to hand you, literally, physically, an instruction manual that teaches you how to operate a piece of machinery on your planet. If you follow the instructions, the machine will operate as designed to your advantage. If you do not follow the instructions, the machine will operate to your disadvantage. So the idea is that the machine is always operating. It's up to you to simply understand that what we're giving you is literally a description of how reality works. Therefore, it's literally an instruction manual, and if you simply stick with the instructions, the machine will always work to your advantage instead of your disadvantage. It's that simple. Remember, there is not only positive synchronicity, there is negative synchronicity too. The synchronicity never stops, but it will only be capable of reinforcing whatever vibration you put into the mechanism. Following the instruction manual gives you the benefit of always using the machine to your advantage. That's why we have shared it with you. It's not a philosophy. It's not an opinion. It's an observation and a description of how existence actually works. Just follow the instructions.
Ooh, fantastic. Well, thank you very much for that, and the adventure continues.
Yes, it does, and it will never, ever, ever end. Why will it never end? Because it never began. It just is. That's its nature. It just is.
Good morning, Bashar.
And a you good day.
Thank you. I wanted to, first of all, thank you for being so patient with all of us.
I am not patient at all. I have no need for patience because I'm never impatient. Because I am always absolutely enjoying everything that I choose to do. You are all quite delightful.
Well, thank you for that.
Well, I'll put it more this way. You are all quite lightful.
Okay.
I don't want to delight you.
Okay. I don't really have a real question. Well, observation, kind of a question for you. It feels to me a lot like we're on this exponential curve and we're all getting very close now to what people are calling ascension or just
You're in the process.
evolution.
You're not getting close to it. You're in it.
In it.
Yes, you're in the process. Again, it's just the idea of raising your vibration to a different level so you can experience reality in a different way, in a way that's more in alignment with who you truly prefer to be. That's all ascension is.
So my question to you is, what does that process look like from your perspective?
I just told you.
Okay.
I literally just told you.
Okay.
It's the instruction manual. The process itself. If
No,
that's what you mean.
No, I mean the unfolding of it, like the time.
How do we perceive it?
And our perceiving in our timeline, how is it looking from your perspective?
What's the manifestation?
Yes, yeah, maybe that's the question.
All right. Well, what you're experiencing more and more first, as part of this process, is the splitting of your world into a variety of parallel versions of Earth. That's going on right now, quite physically. And that's why you're seeing more and more and more dichotomy in your cultures and societies. As people vibrate to certain ideas, then they will wind up on certain plates or plateaus of reality that are different versions of Earth. And as they split apart, sometimes jaggedly, you will find that you will drift farther and farther and farther apart until one day, in the near future, you will only be able to experience whatever plateau you're on in terms of its effects, in terms of all the people that are there with you. And you will no longer be able to perceive, like you can perceive right now, differences, radical differences, and vibrational incompatibility with anyone else in that reality. Right now, because the splits are new, because it's just beginning to really crack and beginning to pull apart, you can still see different people choosing different realities as if you were looking through glass at their reality. And you literally are. Just because you can see people who might be choosing pathways that are wholly unlike what you would prefer to experience on your planet, doesn't mean you actually still reside on the same version of Earth that they do.
I see.
You are literally looking through a glass sheet, and even though you can still see them and the choices that they make that might be more negative than you would prefer, none of what they're choosing can actually reach you through the glass. But eventually, the glass will become more opaque, and you will only see the reality that you harmonize to. Eventually.
We'll just stop perceiving the rest of the...
You will stop perceiving them. They will no longer literally be in your version of Earth. Because you see, again, you never actually change the world you're on. You change yourself, and you shift to another version of Earth that already exists, that's already more reflective of the vibrational change you made within yourself.
Less and less negativity in it.
Yes, if that's what you choose.
Right.
That's how it works. You're never on the same Earth from moment to moment, billions of times per second. This is one of the things you're learning, is that every moment is absolutely new. You are absolutely a new person on absolutely a new Earth, in absolutely a new universe, in absolutely a new multiverse, in absolutely a new expression of existence. It's just that you create this illusion of continuity to make it appear as if you're just making small changes on the same planet. That's never the case. Every change is a total change of everything, everywhere. You just trick yourself into believing that that's not the case. But you're getting over that.
I see. Thank you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Thank you. Here is something important to understand. All these things that we talk about, such as the description we just gave of how reality is actually structured, it's not something you have to learn to do. You just are in the process of realizing that you have always been doing it. You're just looking at it differently, looking at it more consciously, and thus you can use what you've already been doing in a different way. But you don't have to learn, bless you, to do it. You already do it automatically. You're just becoming aware that you're already doing it, and that's what makes the difference. Make sense? Yes. All right.
Hi, Bashar.
And a you good day.
Thank you for being here today. What is the highest potential for the human experience?
The fourth density experience, which means You can experience the concept that you sometimes euphemistically refer to as heaven on earth. Everyone absolutely having what they need, when they need it, in absolute harmony with every aspect of your experience, being full-fledged expressions of creation in the way that is unique for you to express. It's how our civilization functions. We operate on what we call pure synchronism. Everyone is exactly where they need to be, when they need to be there, interacting with exactly who they need to interact with at exactly the right moment, getting exactly what they need in perfect exchange, in perfect harmony, in perfect timing. It's a choreography, it's an orchestration, it's automatic. That's all there is to it. It's like living in a dream, because you start to realize that physical reality is a dream, and that you can have manifestations that you would have in the past simply recognized as magical. But you see, as we have often said, miracles are not the exception. Miracles are the natural order of things. Not experiencing them is the exception. So you are giving up being the exception and going into the flow of creation in a more natural way, beginning to realize that surrender is not giving up control. Surrender is allowing the control you already have to express itself more freely. It's understanding that going with the flow means that the current already knows where you need to go, instead of swimming upstream with resistance. Because the physical mind thinks it knows what's best. The physical mind isn't designed to know that. The physical mind doesn't have a clue. Well, now and then, maybe a hint. But the physical mind is only designed to experience what's happening. The higher mind is designed to know what needs to happen in order to bring to your physical individual experience as a personality everything you need in your life that is relevant for you in order to experience the fullness of your being in complete and total joy and ecstasy. That is the potential in all of you, should you choose to awaken to it. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. It's beautiful.
Anything else?
Yes. I really like to study astrology.
Go right ahead.
And it gives me lots of permission slips to be who I am. And
Yes, all right. Then whatever you're attracted to will work for you for the duration of the time that you're attracted to it.
I'm curious, astrology, it's when we look at our natal chart, it's our birth chart, a moment of time that we're born.
Yes.
Is there, from your perception of us in the room now, are you able to see and identify different energies in our being?
Yes.
And is that constantly changing, or is there something that's
Constantly
fixed within
changing.
us?
There are some things that in a sense seem to be the same, but you are constantly recreating it to appear that way. So continuity is also an illusion, but it's an illusion that can serve you to create what you perceive to be stability in your reality. Nevertheless, it's constantly changing. Nothing is static. Remember that that's the fifth law. Everything changes except the laws. Mm-hmm. Nothing ever stops. It's dynamically, constantly changing. But there are patterns to it, in a sense. But it's not so much just this, it's this. You understand the difference?
No.
You may feel that there are ups and downs in the changes, but that doesn't mean you're always on the same level. The ups and downs can actually be raising your vibration so that your overall arc is up.
I see. Yes, and what I find in the trends in astrology is if I find a place where I have a weakness or a trigger to something, and
yes.
if it's painful and fearful,
yes.
that's actually a huge potential for growth.
Absolutely. That's an opportunity to take that moment and stay in that moment and find out what the definitions are that would be generating that experience of pain. Mm-hmm. Yes? That's the whole point, is to experience that process. The process is the point. As you have heard on your planet, the journey is the destination. You have nowhere more important to be than dealing with what's happening right now, ever. You have nowhere more important to be.
So can I take it as a map?
In a sense, you can, as long as you understand it's a reflection, not something that controls anybody. It's a reflection of decisions and choices that have been made from different levels of consciousness, and therefore, yes, you can kind of read it as a map, but you will also have to rely on your own intuition to allow parts of it to stand out in ways that might be a little bit different than what you may have originally learned to do with it. Because as you change, the way in which you use that permission slip will also change. Yes?
Yes.
Does that help?
Yeah.